Turn to somebody that, that's your second choice, but your first choice, and this is going to happen. In Mark chapter 16. Mark chapter 16. Start with verse 15 through 18. How many know what that is? You ought to remember that by heart. When you've been a Christian for a long time, and the preacher says, basically, if it's in the gospel or one of the New Testament books, when they say the chapter, I pretty much know where they're going, what story they're going to read. So, if I say Mark chapter 16, you should know that's after Jesus is resurrected and he's about to go to heaven. You just know that. You should instinctively know that. That's at the end of Mark. In a chronological order, we'll put him at his ascension. Okay? And so you ought to know that. And so, if you've been in church for a while, you just kind of understand where the preacher's going. And so I want to talk to you for just a little bit about this has got to happen. It's got to happen. And for Jesus to return, how many are looking for Jesus' return? Come on, help me a minute. How many are looking for Jesus' return? Why? Why are you looking for Jesus to return? I'm just asking you, why? I just want to know, are you excited about his return because I have cousins that are going to hell? Am I excited about his return because my life is so horrible? Oh, that's pretty good. I have a pretty good life right now with me. Why are we excited about the Lord coming? I want to know. I just want to ask you. Why are you excited, Kim? Why are we excited? Are we really excited about his coming? Because he said these things have to happen. We got to do the Great Commission. We got to go get these things done. And so, why are we excited about it? I'm really like, God, would you hold Jesus back for a little bit because I got a lot to do. I know that sounds blasphemous to say that. I understand that. I understand it sounds like I should never say that, but come on, let's get real. Don't you have loved ones that are, man, Jesus came tonight, they're going through a tribulation period, and they're going, come on now. I don't want that for my family. I don't want that for your family.
Amen.
I want them to be right with God, and then let's all get saved and let Jesus come. Can we do that?
That's right. Come on.
So that way we can all go to heaven together. We can all just be together in heaven. Now, you have your own house, so you won't bother me. But listen. I'm just kidding. But listen. When I was putting this together, and God began to deal with me on these things have to happen. But I was like, God, please forgive me, and please don't think I'm being disrespectful. But I'm not praying, come quickly, Lord Jesus. I'm not praying that. I'm just not. And it's not because I'm selfish and I don't want anybody to think that, hey, lightning, wait, light show. Okay, so, I'm sorry, God, I'm just trying not to be disrespectful. As long as it's outside, not here, we're good, right? Okay, so, listen. I'm trying to be disrespectful, but there's people in here that have children. If Jesus were to come today, they would be lost and undone.
Amen. That's right.
Come on now, don't look at me like that with your religious look and say, but you're supposed to be praying, come quickly, Lord Jesus. I know that, and I understand that. Please forgive me if I'm being blasphemous and not being doctrinal, but listen to me. There's so many things that have to be done. There are so many souls that have to be saved. There's so many marriages that have to be put back together. There's so many drug addicts that have to be delivered. There's so many alcoholics that have to be dried out. This afternoon I was at home and this kind of stuff interested me, so you just have to forgive me. I was watching a documentary on Kurt Cobain and how he died and the change that Nirvana made in music, and I lived through it, so I understand. I understand when Smells Like Teen Spirit, when that song came out, I thought this was going to change everything because it was in your face and it was just different. And the same thing when Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction came out, it changed music in the 80s. When Van Halen came out in the 70s, it changed music in the 70s. It just did. So I was watching about Kurt Cobain and how he had the world. And Nirvana is, Kurt Cobain's been dead since 1994. He shot himself in 1994 and killed himself. They still made $4.5 million on Nirvana last year. They haven't been a band in 23 years. And they still made $4.5 million off that band last year. He had the world by the tail. He had everything the world could offer. And what did the world offer? Heroin addiction, alcoholism, suicide. He couldn't handle all the stuff that the world put on him. But aren't you thankful that God said He blesses and has no sorrow?
Amen.
Aren't you glad that God will give you what it is that you can handle and doesn't give you more than you can handle that it crushes you? And I was watching that today and I thought to myself, what a sad commentary that this young man had everything he could possibly ever want, and he overnight went from just an obscure band in Seattle to multi-millionaire. Multi-millionaire. How many times has it happened? He died at 27 years old. Let's see who else has died at 27. Jimi Hendrix died at 27. Janis Joplin died at 27. Guy from the Doors, Morrison, died at 27. At 27 years old, all four of them died by suicide or drug overdose. The world has some stuff for you, but it doesn't have what you need.
Amen.
I'm not against the world. I'm for the world. I have the antidote for their disease. But understand me just a second. Understand me for just a minute, please. But with that going on in the world today, I have a hard time praying that prayer, come quickly, Lord Jesus. Now, understand me. Please don't get upset with me yet. I understand that we have brothers and sisters in China that are suffering horribly, in North Korea that are suffering horribly. I watched a video of a girl that escaped from North Korea. And I was watching her as she was telling a council of world leaders how awful it is to live in North Korea. She said, "You don't understand how awful it is to live in North Korea and wake up every day and want to die." Can you imagine to wake up in a country every day and can't wait to die? And she was a young girl. She was in her teens. And her family escaped. And they got out of North Korea. She says, "You don't understand the oppression. You don't understand if you say anything against any leader, you can be taken and killed in an instant. No trial. No anything, no accusation, come in your house, take you, kill you, and your family." Kim Jong-un is God there. They worship him as God. There is no religion other than him. He is their God. The state is your religion. And she said, "You don't understand how awful it is." She said, and then she ended up, and tears just streaming down her face. Beautiful little girl, just tears streaming down her face. And she said, "But I thank you for listening to me and hearing my story, so maybe we can let more people like me get out of North Korea." And I understand we have people that are suffering like that. I get it. And they're crying. You know, if they know anything about Jesus, I doubt if they know anything about Jesus because we can't get in there to tell anybody about Jesus. But they may or they may not know. I can understand that saying, "Lord, come quickly, Lord Jesus." But at 2031 North Ideal Street, Seminole, Oklahoma, things are pretty good. Things are pretty good. They're not horrible. I don't wake up every day hoping I will die. I don't wake up every day wishing that the Lord would just come so I could escape all my troubles. I wake up every day and go, "Man, I gotta go to work." I wake up every day and go, "Oh, I gotta go make money." What shame. Come on now.
Yeah.
Do you not wake up in the morning sometimes and go, "I really don't want to do this today. Mine's usually on a Monday. Because Sunday, am I did? Usually on mine is a Monday because Sundays are long for me. And I try to get up Monday and be all, hey guys, how you doing? Awesome. But sometimes I just am like, hey guys, how's the good habit? And I try to be upbeat when I go and I see people, and I don't want to ever let them see me just dragging and be in a bad mood. And so I try to put on that happy face for everybody and let everybody, but there's times in my life and it's usually Mondays, that I'm just really exhausted. I give everything I have for 2 services. I do. I know you guys don't believe that, but I do. I give everything that I have inside me. And there's times that I'll be eating at Mazzio's and I'm sitting there going, I really like the fellowship, but I really want to go home. And I enjoy the fellowship. Thank you, sir. I enjoy going and eating and sitting around and talking and laughing at people because they're goofy. And I'm thinking that. I really enjoy that. But there's times I just want to go home. There's just time my kids asked me today, Dad, where do you want to go eat? I said, I'm not going, I'm going home. They're like, well, fine then. It wasn't because of them, it's just I wanted to go home. My body was tired. Physically, I was tired. So, I said all that to say this. I don't want you to think that I'm being sacrilegious or whatever you want to call it. But we have it pretty stinking good.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to, this sounds awful. I knew it was going to, when I wrote it down, I knew it was going to sound awful. But I don't want the Lord to come today. And I have stuff I got to get done.
Amen.
I have people I've got to reach.
Amen.
I've got a city that God has laid on my heart. Can we just be real? And I don't mean to be disrespectful. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. I know my mother wishes the Lord would come today so she could be with my dad. I know she does. I know she's hurting, and I know she's bored. She's bored and she's lonely, and I understand that. And she wants the Lord to come today, and she wants the Lord to come yesterday. I see my mother-in-law. She wants the Lord to come 10 years ago because she wants to be with Larry, and I understand that. I don't hold any grudge about that. That's fine, and that's great. But some things have to happen.
Amen.
We have got to do some of these things. I'm going to read to you this in 16:15. And he said unto them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And I read that, I read that, and I was like, God, I know a lot of people that believeth not. Come on now.
Come on.
Oh, they say they believe in God. So what? The devil believes in God.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, I believe in God. Great. Hallelujah. But have you made a choice? Oh, that was this morning. Okay, so verse 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe in my name. They shall cast out devils.
Yes,
They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Now, I understand this. Jesus is telling them to go to the house of Israel. I get it. You have to read it. I get it. Go back to the first verse, 15, I think it was. And he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That's not been done yet. There's what's the pastor's name? He wrote 2 books, Radical and Radical Together. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. But he was in Nepal, India. He went to this village in Nepal. They'd never heard the name of Jesus. This was like 3 years ago. They had never heard the name Jesus. They didn't know about Jesus Christ. They were sacrificing human sacrificing. Going to eternity without ever hearing the name Jesus. Come on, man. Is there not a cause? Is there not a reason? How do you go into eternity and never hear the name of Jesus or a way out?
Yes, amen.
We just assume everybody knows. And they don't know. But there's some things that have to happen. Number one, we got to go into all the world and preach the gospel. Jesus, help me.
Come on.
Thank God for the rain. Can someone just thank God for the rain?
Amen.
Thank you. It's been so stinking hot. Thank you. This is probably going to make it steamy. You know, we'll go outside and be like tropical jungle outside, but listen, to the grass. Yeah. And we got to go preach the gospel to the world. You know what I'm looking for? I need a youth pastor. I'm looking for that. But you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for somebody who has a heart for missions that we can be part of. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody not just be a world missionary, but a state missionary.
Amen.
A city missionary. That's what our job is.
Yes, amen.
And listen, I don't want to go to Turkey. Israel's good enough for me, and that's a long, stinking enough flight for me. I don't care. I don't want to go to India. Brother Thomas keeps trying to get me to go to India. I love you, Brother Thomas, but no. Love you, brother, but no. I don't want to go to India. I don't want to go to Nepal, China. I don't want to go to those places. God's, can I use the thing everybody uses on me? That's not my calling. I don't want to do that. Okay? But it is my directive. Leave that back up there, please. That is my directive. That is my commission. That's what Jesus told his disciples before he took off, before he went up into heaven. He said, go to all the world and preach the gospel. I'm just looking for somebody that will be a missionary. Somebody that will preach the gospel, and I love it. I know people get all excited and they say, I'll go anywhere you want me to go, God. I'll go into all the world. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. But they won't go to their neighbor across the street and talk to them about Jesus, and they won't witness anybody or bring anybody to the church. They're going to change the world in Nepal, India. I doubt it. I doubt it. But anyway, I get back to my story, and I can't remember the guy's name to save my life. I can see his face. I can't remember his name. They said they were sacrificing people going into eternity without ever hearing the name of Jesus. Is there not a cause? Is there not a reason? Is there not a place where we can change the world? I was complaining to God. God, I just want to, I don't understand, God. The Spirit of God will move, and I can feel the Spirit of God moving in the church, and it seems like everybody sits down. And I said, God, I don't understand. I don't understand. Can I tell you what God spoke to me? This is after my conversation. I don't know how, Jeff. I was like, what do you mean they don't know how? How do you not know how? People don't know how to react to the Spirit of the Lord. Right. What do you mean, how's that possible? Because they've not seen it. They've not felt it. They don't know how to react to the Spirit of God. They don't know how to give in to the Spirit of God. They don't know how to say, okay, God, here I am, use me. Because they don't want to be weird, number one. Number two, they want a real experience with God, not just an emotional experience with God, but a real experience with God. And so they're looking for something real, and they don't know exactly how to do that because it's been so long since we've seen a real move of God, we've almost forgotten what it looks like. Oh, good.
Good preaching.
Help me. I was just complaining. I wasn't really praying, I was just complaining. I know you guys don't do that because y'all say it, but I sometimes complain to God. I sometimes complain to God, and He always brings it back to me. Because He's done what He's going to do. He's died. Jesus died on the cross for me. He gave me this baptism of the Holy Ghost that I could share His gospel and share how that looks and what that looks like.
Amen.
He gave that to me to use to share with His people. I'm not trying to hurry. Listen, in verse 16 He said, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people right now who don't believe.
Come on. Come on.
In my world, in my little world, Of all my little grocery store people that I really like, all the managers, all the workers that I know and I know closely and I've worked there. Listen, I've been doing this tortilla thing for 16 years. There's a kid that works for Budweiser that I knew him when he was 10 years old. Because his mom worked at Walmart. But now he's 26 years old and he works for Budweiser. And he delivers for Budweiser. His dad is his boss. His dad's worked for Budweiser for, I don't know, 30, 40 years, whatever. But I really like that kid. But I don't know if he's saved or not. I've talked to him about the Lord. I've talked to his mom and dad about the Lord. You know what? This was a sad commentary. When she worked at Walmart, she doesn't work there anymore. She works for the chick stalls at the hospital. But when she worked there, she said, Jeff, we went to church, but everybody told Fred he had to get a different job because he worked for Budweiser. She said, that's the best job he's ever had, and it supports our family. That's a hard question. That's a hard question. So what do you tell them? I tell them, this is what I told her. I may be wrong, and you guys can condemn me if you want to. But I said, listen, he needs to go to work until God opens the door for another job.
Mom.
What's he supposed to do? Let his family just fall apart? Let lose their home or everything? So that was my answer. He needs to get up every morning to go to work like he's doing until God opens the door for another place. But he needs to be actively praying for another place. But still, yeah. Not because, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But anyway, but they have not been to church in probably 20 years. Because somebody who was trying to be helpful, I know they were trying to be helpful, they weren't trying to hurt them, said something that turned them off. And so those kids, she has a daughter that's Abby's age, and a son that's, I think he's 26, maybe 23, in that area, anyway, whatever. They've never been in church in their life. Never. Is there not a cause? I find somebody say, these things have to happen. These things have to happen. That was no high five. That was no high five. That was some white boy high five going on right there. Listen, verse 17. Verse 17. And these signs that follow them that believe in my name shall cast out devils. Now, that doesn't just mean. I'm not going to go there tonight. Okay. My name shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. Verse 18. They shall take up serpents and drink any deadly thing, and shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Now listen, I don't believe in picking up snakes. Jamie, I heard you had a snake in your house. I'd have burned that trailer to the ground. I'm telling you, there ain't no stinking way. Okay? I wouldn't sleep in it, I promise. I'm going to tell you, okay, here's the deal. I would have burned that trailer to the ground. Before, ain't no way, man. I'm out of the snake thing. Okay? So, I'm not doing it. Okay? So, take up serpents means that he protects me on the outside. Drink any deadly thing, he protects me on the inside. Amen. So I have authority on the outside and the inside. Yes. Don't help me understand. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Lay hands on the sick, and the sick shall recover. Yes. These things have to happen. Yes. Why? Because that's what draws people to God. Yes. Yes. Come on. Yes. That's what draws people to God, is when their lives are changed. Listen, you come to church and you're bored and you're doing whatever, and you don't want to be here, and you sure don't want to invite anybody because you don't want to be here either. That's not life-changing. But when God is speaking into your life and God is doing something in your life, don't be a Dead Sea. Don't be the Dead Sea. Now let me just share something with you. Everybody has this mental picture of the Jordan River is this beautiful river. It's not. It's green. It's ugly, and it's green. And in some parts, it's not as wide as this church. And I have this wonderful picture. Oh, if I could just, God took me to the Jordan. Okay, but it's a, that's why neighbors want to go dip in it. the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea, nothing flows out of it, and it just sits there, and it's just nasty. And now I'll tell you this, the Dead Sea looks beautiful. It is blue, has waves that roll in. It is beautiful. But it is nasty. And they're making millions of dollars off the mud of the Dead Sea. I don't understand that for the life of me. You ladies will buy Dead Sea mud and put it on your face. I don't, whatever. Little River's free. Okay, just go down there, smear it up, baby. Okay, whatever. And they're making millions of dollars off of mud out of the Dead Sea. I opened up a drawer in my bathroom, and there's a packet with Dead Sea mud in it. I didn't buy it. We went through when you get out of the Dead Sea, they have a little gift shop area and all that stuff. Are you crazy? $139 for some mud? Not going to happen from this white guy. Not happening. No. But they're making millions of dollars, this company is, off of Dead Sea mud. So even when the Dead Sea, the water's horrible, you can't use it for anything. But there's still something good in it because it's got the nutrients in it, whatever. Okay. The minerals, okay, whatever. All right? And when you're there, there's people smeared head to toe with this mud. Whatever, man. Whatever. You do you, okay? I'm not. That's just nasty. I got the water in my mouth. I thought I was going to throw up. So don't even, okay. And so don't worry. Listen, okay, here's the deal. But these things have to happen. What has to happen? First, we have to have a desire to go. It doesn't do any good for Jesus to tell us to go. Number one, we have to have a desire to go. This morning, I'll probably take some people off, but I don't care. I've gone past that. I care about everybody being mad about stuff all the time. This church is so offended about someone saying offended. I mean, it's just nuts. And so, that doesn't bother me anymore. I'm just done with it. So here's understanding. I probably take some people off by saying we need to choose what we're going to do. If we're seriously going to be this way or not. And I'm sorry if you got offended. I don't want you to be offended, but I'm sorry if you did. See? What's this? And so listen. I don't want you ever to be offended at me. I don't want, that's not my part, that's not my purpose. But I want you to understand something. I probably ticked some people off because I said you have to choose. We're going to have to choose. Are we really going to be where God's called us to be or not? Are we seriously going to do what God's called us to do or are we not going to? Are we going to tippy-toe around it and hopefully that we're going to go, this around the edges of it? Are we just going to glean the edges of the field? Are we going to go into the field? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we really going to go into the field and go harvest? Are we going to wait for somebody else to harvest and get the gleanings off the sides? What are we going to do?
Come on. Good.
Who are we going to be?
Right.
Who are we going to be? But until we get that divine, let's go in our spirit, I can't help you. I can't make you have that divine go. I can't make you get that gear. I can't make you get it in. I can't make you say, you know what? My family's dying and going to hell. I'm going to do something about it. Well, I pray. That's great. I'm glad you pray. I'm glad you need to pray. We need to pray more.
Yes, amen.
We do need to pray more. But there's something about living a life and a godly life in front of people that changes their lives. There's something about God changing something inside of you that they can see a definite change in your life that changes people's lives. There's something about that. There's something about not just coming to church, but having a relationship with God. There's something about that that changes people's lives.
Amen.
Oh, help me. It's not with just my mouth. I can make my mouth say anything.
That's right.
It's my life. And if I can't get you to get a divine go, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. Verse, and I'm trying to wrap up. Just give me 10 more minutes. And these signs shall follow them that believe. So there should be signs in our life, right? Okay. There should be signs in my life that show where I am and who I am. There should be something about me, Rick, that's different. Brother Doug, there ought to be something about me that's different. I should be different. There ought to be something about me. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that Jeff guy that's just different. I've never heard him cussing. Never heard him telling dirty jokes. I've never. He comes in and he speaks to me. Every time he walks in this door, there's something different. I make a conscious effort to speak to everybody I see, because I see them every day. And what happens is, I don't understand this, and maybe somebody can help me, okay? Would y'all help me? Because I'm kind of dense. I don't understand the offense of nobody speaking to you when you don't speak to anybody else. I don't understand that.
Come on.
I don't understand that. Y'all have to help me with that, because that's so stupid to me. I can't hardly stand it. And my mother used to be that way. I'll tell her because she's not here. She should be in church. But she used to get offended when I didn't talk to me. Mother, did you speak to anybody? No. Well, that's just dumb. Why are you upset about that if you didn't speak to them either? Why? I don't understand it. But she used to get like that sometimes. When that was back in the 70s and 80s, when I still lived at home. And I never did understand that. So you have to help me with that, because I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why is it that you can not speak to anybody that's cool, but if they don't speak to you, they can see that and they think they're better than me? No, maybe they're just busy. Maybe they weren't thinking about it. Maybe they had a flat tire and they're thinking, how am I going to get the flat tire fixed before I get out, Maybe there's something else going on in their life. Maybe they have something going on. You need to pray with them. Maybe their child is sick. Maybe their child has dropped off the face of the earth. Maybe they don't know where anybody's at. Maybe they don't have any idea what's going on. And maybe something real is happening in their life besides worrying about whether they shook your hand or not. Now, if you're a door greeter, you better shake somebody's hand. I'm talking about you're going to get yourself together and to get right, okay? But if you're just in the church, don't worry about that stuff, guys. Be secure enough in yourself that you don't really care.
Amen.
I'm not easily offended. That's one issue I don't have. Now, I have a bunch of issues, but that's one I don't have. Okay, I'm not easily offended. If you don't speak to me, okay, great. I'm not. We love you. Whatever. It's good. I'm not going to go home and crawl up in a ball and cry because you didn't talk to me. I'm just not going to. Yes, I should. And so, that's fun. Listen, you with me. High five somebody and say, these things have to happen. High five somebody. High five. These things have to happen. These things have to happen. These things have to happen. What has to happen? I've got to get a divine go in me.
Amen.
I've got to have that in my life.
Yes, Mr. Bones.
I gotta quit worrying about all this other stupid stuff. Because I gotta have signs in my life to show that I'm different. There's an old Stephen Curtis Chapman song from the 1990s. What about the change? What about the difference? What about the grace and what about forgiveness? I want to live a life to show and I want to go into change.
Amen.
That's an old song, guys. That's a good song. Listen, what about the change and what about the difference? What about the grace and what about forgiveness? I want to live a life that's showing I'm undergoing a change. Something's got to change.
Amen.
My God, we can't just sit in church and go to hell.
No.
Come on. I can't sit in church and let my loved ones go to hell. I can't sit in church and let my city go to hell. I can't sit in church and say, man, wouldn't it be great if we all went to heaven and do nothing to win anybody in the kingdom of God? Come on. I want to see some souls saved, and I want to see some baptisms take place. I want to dunk some people in some water so bad I can't understand. I want to get a big swimming pool and put it out in the parking lot. I want to go to somebody go to the pool that you were talking about. I want to hold them under there until they get saved. No, that's all right. Come on now. I want to see people's lives changed.
Amen.
I want to baptize people. I want to see their life. I want to see people get saved for real, and not for a day, but for a lifetime.
Right.
Not for a week, but for a lifetime.
Yes, amen. Come
These
on.
things have to happen before Jesus comes, and we're going to be in trouble. If these things don't happen, we're going to be in trouble, because listen, I want to be laboring until He comes. I don't want to be just laying around until He comes. I want to labor until Jesus comes. I want to see some fruit.
Amen.
I got to see some fruit of His sacrifice. Listen, they laid Him in the ground like a seed. I want to see some fruit.
Amen.
Come on, help me a minute. Help me a minute. These things have to happen. We have to, number one, have a divine go. Number two, there has to be a change in us.
Yes, Lord.
There has to be a divine change in us. A working of His Spirit in our life.
Amen.
Divine go.
Come go.
Let's go win the lost, man. Let's go tell them about Jesus. I want to do a weekend where we just love on our community. I just want to do a weekend where we give out groceries and get haircuts for people and have a job fair and they can fill out applications. I just want to have a weekend where a Saturday and a Sunday where we end up with a big service on Sunday and to let them know that we love them and we care and we're here. And that God doesn't hate them. That God's not disappointed in them. That God's not mad at them. And God doesn't want their life to be hell on earth. He wants to change their life. And that's just some stuff I want to do. I don't want to be a church that sits in church for 4 hours a weekend and doesn't do anything about it other than sit in church for 4 hours a weekend. I hate that. I hate that. I'm such a weird guy. I am. I know I am. You know, that's fine. I don't like stagnant church.
Amen. Come on.
I don't like church as I go to church, I'm there for 2 hours, I go home, I go to church for 2 hours, I go home, I go to church on Wednesday for an hour and a half, I go home, and so I spend 5.5 hours in church a week, but I really don't affect any change. And the church doesn't really affect any. I can't stand that. I want to be relevant to a generation. I want to be relevant to a generation. That they can look at us and say, nobody else cared about us, but that church gave me food when I was hungry. That doesn't, I can't pay everybody's water bill, and we can't pay everybody's water bill as a church. But maybe we can help teach them how to save some money so they have water. And teach them how to not. Listen, I don't know if they teach this at school anymore. We used to have, it was in home ed, but they taught us how to balance checkbooks and all that stuff. They still do that? God, teachers help me out.
Economics.
Yeah, we used to have, it was home ed, but do they still do that? Are they? That's a good thing. They need to start bringing it back. They taught us how to balance a checkbook, and they taught us how, which that's obsolete now, but they taught us how to do some things like that, and life application things. You guys, we got to be relevant. We got to be relevant to this community and to our culture.
Yes, amen.
I know we need to preach Jesus. I'll preach Jesus as long as somebody will let me preach it. I'll scream and holler and spit and all that stuff as long as somebody will let me scream, holler, and spit. We've got to be relevant to a generation to open up doors into their hearts. We just have to be. We have to be. It's great to break down the 7 churches of Revelation. That's great.
Come on.
I love that. And that's interesting to me. And, you know, I think, you know, we want to divide between pale horses and white horses, whatever. That's great. I love it. But let's get somebody saved first before we start talking about the Revelation of horses, vials, and bowls. Okay?
Amen.
Let's get somebody saved first. I would tell them about this. I would say Jesus, and we teach them about Jesus being born of a virgin and why that's important. Not born of a young girl, but born of a virgin. Why is it important not to change it to young girl? She was a young girl, but she was a virgin. She had never slept with a man because the bloodline was pure with God. Come on, help me now. Come on now. How about we teach that before we start talking to them about the bowls and the vials and the plagues and all that stuff, and how the blood will be up to the bridle, the horse's bridle, the Garden of Gethsemane. And can we tell them about why Jesus died on the cross for you? Can we tell them about that first before trying to scare them into heaven? Can we just tell them about how Jesus, He died on the cross and took your place, and replaced you on the cross, not just covered your sin, but took your spot? Can we talk to them about that first? Can we tell them about how Jesus was buried in a borrowed tomb, and in 3 days came out of it, God raised Him up out of that pit? Can we talk to them about that first? And then talk to them about deeper things? Can we? Can we? We need to start teaching the Word of God. We're not trying to impress somebody with what we know. But teaching the Word of God. Hey, here's what Jesus did. This is why I love Him so much. I don't love Him because I have a home that's comfortable, and I have cars that are great, and I have a great job, and I have a great church, and I have a great whatever. I don't love Him because of that. I love Him because He took my place on the cross, and He died for me. And not only did He just die for me, but He gave me a life, and life more abundantly. And what does that mean, life more abundantly? Well, here's what that means to me. Let me just share that with you, and that opens up another door. Because when you start opening doors, man, God will just open a door after a door after a door after a door after a door. And you never run out of things to tell somebody about Jesus. Amen, Brother Jeff. Amen. You never run out of things to tell somebody about Jesus. When I was first learning how to preach, and I was trying to do my very best, and when you're first learning how, you want to impress everybody with what you don't know, and I had an old preacher come up to me and say, this is what he told me. He said, son, you did a good job tonight. He said, but don't ever forget to preach Jesus.
Come on.
That's been, I've preached since 93, 93, 94, whatever it was. I've been preaching a long time. And that's a long time ago. And that's so many probably gone way over the grave now. He was an old guy then. I don't know. I remember where I was at. It was like a youth rally or something in Flats. And he came up to me and he was very respectful to me, not just treating me like I was a dumb kid. And he said, listen, don't ever forget to preach Jesus. With all of our wisdom and all the knowledge that we have and all the stuff that God gives us, listen, I'm not belittling any of that stuff. We get good stuff sometimes. And God really gives us some stuff and gives us the ability to break down the Word of God. And that's fantastic. I love it. I know I'm a Bible geek, and I can't help it. I just love it, okay? I'll go on a word, and I'll get stuck on a word, and I'll have to look it up, see what it means, so it takes me to another. It's just, I know it's stupid, but it isn't. Okay, listen. But don't forget to preach Jesus. Don't forget to give everybody a way out. It's great to tell them about the plagues of Egypt. It's great to tell them about how in the last days there's going to be great plagues. The water's going to turn to blood, and the moon is going to be dark, and a third of the people are going to die. And that's true, and that's fact, and it's going to happen. But give them a way that they don't have to live through that.
Come on.
There's a way we don't have to live through that. It's called the rapture of the church. It's called being blood bought, blood soaked, blood washed. Let's talk about the blood of Jesus a little bit. Because these things have to happen. What has to happen? Divine go.
Amen.
Signs have to follow us that we're changed. 3, we must preach Jesus. We have to start preaching Jesus. Jesus is the reason that I'm surviving in my life. Jesus is the reason that I'm here today. If it had not been for Jesus, where would I be? I'm so glad that the Lord saved me. Had it not been for Jesus, where would I be? I'm so glad that the Lord saved me. Because listen, if those things don't happen, Jesus is coming. Whether I pray, come quickly, Lord Jesus, or not. Jesus is coming. Those chariots that have not ridden the wind since they came and took Elijah are about to come back into this place. Those horses are bridled up and ready to go. Everything's getting prepared for the return of Christ. I understand that. Listen, that ought not scare us. It ought to stir us. It ought not scare us. It ought to kick us in the behind, and there's a better word to say. We ought to kick us in our hiney and get us going. It ought to stir us that if Jesus is coming, I better get busy.
Yes, amen.
I got a family to see saved.
Yeah.
I've got your families to see saved. I want you to do me a favor. And you probably won't do this. You probably forget that. Really, that's okay. When you drive through town, I want you to look at your city. Look at it through a pastor's eyes. Let me give you a pastor's perspective. Okay? Look through it not through the eyes of just someone who lives here and you notice every house has been falling down, you notice the tall grass and all stuff. Okay? Don't look at it like that. Look at the people. See them. Look at the expressions on their faces. When you go to Walmart, now don't get arrested for staring at people. Freak, okay? Don't be a freak. But just notice them. Notice them. They're not just shadowy figures, they're people. Notice their faces. And look at the strain and the sadness and the hopelessness. Look at it. Make it personal. Begin to pray for the city. Begin to pray for your neighbors. They're not my neighbors. They live in your city. They're your neighbors. Whether you like them or not.
That's right, come on.
Whether they do what you do or not. Begin to pray for them. Begin to see, God, how can I reach my city? I'm closing with this. I want to build a building. You know that.
Yes.
Don't give to a building, give to a cause.
Yes, amen.
Amen.
The city is your cause. And I'm talking about, listen, I drew a 30-mile radius circle around Cinnamon, which includes Maud, which includes Caldwell, Sassacua, Holdenville, Wewoka, Justice, Pleasant Grove, Cromwell. I'm trying to think of all the little communities around. Earlsboro, Wolf. Shawnee's included in that 30-mile circle. I drew a circle around here. I said, okay, God, let me affect this circle. Just a 30-mile radius. That's not very far. People drive 30 miles to go to Walmart. Okay? They will. I like that Walmart. Yeah, let's go there. Okay? Whatever. They'll drive to 8 to go to Walmart so they go to ours. Whatever. Whatever, okay? This cause is bigger, I guess. I don't know, but anyway. 30 miles isn't a big radius. That's not very big. That's probably not a big enough vision. It's a starting point. It's just a starting point. 30 miles isn't my total vision. It's just a starting point. It's just a drop. It's just a pebble in the pond. And then it gets bigger. But I want you to look at your neighbors. I want you to notice them. I want you to shun them. And that's not a bad word. That's not the right word. That's not the right word. I don't want you to be taken aback by them. But notice them. Pray for them. Seek God for them. How can we affect change in their lives? These things have to happen. I have to have a divine go. I've got to have life-changing things in my life, the signs that show that something's changing in my life. And number 3, come on now. Number 3, I can preach Jesus.
Yes, amen.
I didn't say get on the corner with a Bible and start screaming about Jesus. I didn't say that. I said live a life. Let God open doors and explain to somebody what Jesus did in your life. It's not hard. It's not. God will open a door. I promise you, God will open a door. Let somebody know about what Jesus did in your life. If Jesus has never done anything in your life, then don't say anything. Wait for him to do something, then tell somebody. But I promise you, he's done something in your life. If you're here today, he's done something in your life. I promise you. I promise you. I love you guys so very much. You have no idea. With all of our warts and scars, and bumps and bruises and cellulite and all that stuff, I love you guys, man. I absolutely believe that God has called you for this time, for right now in this place. And I believe that you're going to make a difference. I believe you're going to change the world from Seminole, Oklahoma. I still believe that. I haven't said that in a long time, but I still believe it. We're going to change the world from Seminole, Oklahoma. I believe it. I believe it.
Yes, amen.
With all of our problems, God, you're chosen. You're called. You're blessed. There's not one person sitting in this building right now that can tell me you're not blessed and me believe you. You may not feel it, and you may be feeling sorry for yourself, and you may not feel like you're blessed. But I can start listing off things in your life, and I can prove to you that you're blessed beyond measure. You have abundant life. Let's go tell the world about it. Brother Jeff, you don't know all my troubles. Listen, everybody got trouble. Everybody got trouble. Everybody got it. I can look at your life and see where God has brought you from. I'm not just talking about your physical cars and whatever. You honestly can tell me 10 years ago you're where you were 10 years ago? Oh, dear God, no. Dear God, no. I'm so much further down the road than I was 10 years ago. I understand more now than I did 10 years ago. I get people better now than I did 10 years ago. I understand the hurts of people now more than I did 10 years ago. Y'all think I'm a jerk now? You should have seen me 10 years ago. Get over it. That was my counseling. I'm out of love. I just fell out of love. Fall back in. I mean, that was my counseling. I don't know. I wasn't very compassionate. I've gotten more compassionate. Because I don't know. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. That's how I see things. But hear me. Listen. These things have to happen. For Jesus to come, these things have to happen. The world has to know about Jesus. My heart breaks for young men and young women in North Korea. How about older people who have never heard the name of Jesus Christ? They've lived their entire life. They're in their latter part of their lives in North Korea, and they've never heard the name of Jesus Christ. And they're about to go into eternity. Well, how does God handle that? I don't know. I don't know. There's some things I don't know. I don't know. I'm not God. And I don't know how God handles that. I'm not about to even venture a guess how God, it's none of my business. It's my business to find a way to tell the world about Jesus.
Yeah.
Amen.
How many would raise your hand and say Jesus is the best thing that ever happened to you? Can we go tell the world? Please? Can we just go tell the world about the best thing that ever happened to me? And to you? He's the great I am. He's the Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He's the first and the last. He's the author and the finisher of my faith. Come on now. He loves me. He loves me when y'all don't love me. He loves me when I don't love myself. Somebody help me now. Come on. He cares for me when I don't care about anything. Somebody help me just a minute. Somebody help me just a minute.
Man.
He is my knight in shining armor. Come on, he helps me. When nobody else will help me, he helps me. When I have to lay hands on my own head, he touches me. When I have to pray and I have to seek his face,
Amen.
he always answers me.
Yes, he does.
He's Jesus and him alone. He's the Son of God and God alone.
Amen.
I have his Spirit dwelling inside of me.
That's right, come on.
Come on, somebody ought to get excited about that at least. That is enough to at least make a Baptist nod. Come on, somebody come on now. Hey! That's who he is. He's that bright morning star. He's the salt, he's the light.
Yes, amen.
Ah! He's that city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. That's who he is. Can we tell somebody about Jesus? Can we tell them? These three things have to happen. Go, signs, and tell them about Jesus. They have to happen. Stand to your feet, so I'll shut up.